Representative Ilhan Omar, she has been a person that's been talked about a lot in the media based on her comments when she first talked about AIPAC, which is a admitted pro-Israel lobby group who lobbies for Israel in the United States of America. This is from their website. I read it verbatim. Now, the first thing that she kind of got in trouble with was stating that a lot of the politicians are pro-Israel due to the money they receive from them. And then they asked her to clarify. And when she had first said all about the Benjamins, and she was talking about the money. So, of course, they got upset with her, saying that she's being an anti-Semite. And then she responded and said, well, wait a minute. If I talk about the NRA and I talk about how they're trying to influence our politicians to have lax gun laws, or if I talk about Big Pharma and how they influence our politicians with lobby groups, because all of them have this, then that's okay, but I cannot talk about them. So it was a big, story with that. Then Ilhan Omar had made a comment on her Twitter page stating that, she is an elected official for the United States. She swore to the Constitution of the United States. She doesn't have any dual loyalty. All she should feel like she should pledge to Israel to have a dual loyalty. That's what she has stated. People came out once again in Congress and a lot of people in the Jewish community saying that's wrong what she's saying. Nobody declaring her or forcing her to sign any loyalty pledge to Israel, that she's being anti-Semitic. Then they had this resolution come up. They wanted her condemned in the House. And at first it was going to be a bill only talking about anti-Semitism. So then a lot of people start saying, wait a minute, hold on, you gonna make a whole bill behind anti-Semitism? What about anti-blackness? Because we have a documented history of anti-blackness. Do you want us to start pulling up the pictures of our ancestors hanging from trees? Do you want us to start pulling up the pictures that's still out from, the time period of the convict lease program and all the different things that we have experienced? Jim Crow, the Ku Klux Klan, race soldiers. We still dealing with that today. Do you want us to pull all that up? I mean, this is what, that's being talked about, and nothing is being said at all in relation to anti-blackness. So at the last minute, the Democrats crafted the bill to include anti-black, LGBTQ, or those who are against them, and different, against women, against, many things that people put in there in the bill. So that wasn't received too well by certain people because they only wanted anti-Semitism. So fine, that was that. Everybody quiet about it. Even Ilhan Omar had voted for this particular bill, condemning anti-Semitism, anti-blackness, anti-LGBTQ, etc. Just giving you guys a little history. Well, you had a guy by the name of Rabbi Shmuley. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. He's labeled as a famous rabbi, America's rabbi. He has wrote many books. He's been on many mainstream media shows. Rabbi Shmuley decided that he wanted to put out a full-page ad against Representative Ilhan Omar. Now, this is a picture of Rabbi Shmuley. Look who he's with, Steve Bannon. That's not a good look. How is it that you're going to be hanging around Steve Bannon, but you talking about anti-Semitism? White nationalists, or people who sympathize with white nationalists, aren't any kind of friend of Israel. So why are you hanging with him? That's the only thing I'm saying. Don't that kind of contradict your message about anti-Semitism? Okay, so you see that. I just want to make sure we point that out. Then I'm going to put up some more pictures up. Oh, they did a GoFundMe to put in a full page ad. And it says, support our full page ad, taking on Ilhan Omar. Now, they're going to spend $50,000. $50,000 was the goal to put that in the Washington Post. And we'll go to the next picture here. This is on the 24th. This was yesterday as the filming this video. And as you can see, they got their $50,000 to put in the ad on this woman. $50,000 that they spent because they wanted to make sure to demonize this woman. calling her an anti-Semite. Now, if we look at this particular ad itself, we'll show it here. It said, Representative Omar, Israel has hypnotized the world. And then it's a historic anti-Semitism. It says, Jew hypnotizes by his daring and strength of mind. It's a historic anti-Semitism. She wrote it's all about the Benjamin's baby, talking about money. And it says, money is the only means the Jew knows by which to gain position. That's a quote out of the International Jew out of 1920. Now, she says she wants to talk about the political influence in this country. It says it's okay to push for allegiance to a foreign country. And it says the Jew is frankly internally loyal to Jewish race. Since 1948 to Israel, the White Man's Bible, 1981 is what they're quoting that from. Now, it says her remarks are not anti-Israel, they're anti-Semitic. Now, that comes from Rahm Emanuel, the mayor of Chicago. Okay. So it has at the bottom, as you can see, Rabbi Shmuley down there. That's where it comes from. So you spent $50,000 to put that up in the Washington Post. You probably done better spending $50,000 to spread out with Google. You probably done better doing that, making some YouTube ads. Who looks at the Washington Post like that, looking at ads? That's so old school. I just think you're wasting money. I mean, if I'm going to really put out a message against someone, I'm going to spend money where people at. Like, so I'll spend the money with YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm just saying, if you're going to put it out there and you're going to try to demonize them, spending $50,000 right. I think that was a wasted $50,000 personally. But, some people, still look at the Washington Post like that. I mean, now Washington Post, you have to pay for it. In which I understand that's something that we have to do in certain instances due to the platform it is. But not everybody about to pay a subscription to the Washington Post. So I don't know. I just think you waste $50,000. But to Representative Ilhan Omar, she is what I'm looking at. They're trying to slowly try to start branding her like they branded Minister Louis Farrakhan. And they're really going at her like that because I haven't seen any Farrakhan ads. They should have put in Ilhan Omar ads. Now, if I was Ilhan Omar, I would be hitting him with a lawsuit. I'll be hitting him with a defamation of character lawsuit. I'll also be suing the Washington Post. I'll be suing because how you saying this about me? The comments I made didn't say I hate anybody. What are you talking about? And she should win and get her money. So Ilhan Omar, please sue them. Please sue both of them. I would. See, as black folks, we got to stop letting people talk about us. We need to get our lawsuit game going. Defamation of character, slander. Start suing. Trust me. Start suing. We need to do that. You have freedom of speech all you want, that's fine. But you don't have a right to demonize someone on public platforms, making falsehoods about them based off of comments and then think you should be able to get away with it. I would sue if I was her. Not say she would do that, but I would sue because I want to make a point. If you're going to say something about me, make sure that it is what it is. But they worried about her. But as of right now, we're talking about AIPAC. AIPAC have their conference going on. I would tell all of you, watch it. Get the highlights on YouTube, whatever you're going to do. I want you to pay attention to the Democrats that's going to be speaking at the AIPAC conference. The Republicans, we already know what they own. And, to those people that always talking about, why you guys don't see nothing about the Republicans, they don't ask for the black vote. So what are you going to say something about them for? Now, you still can approach Republicans and say, hey, what are you going to do for the black community? Because our vote is up for sale. But I want you to pay attention to the Democrats. I want you to hear what Democrats going to be promising what to them. And then whatever they promise, then we have a lot of fire after that. Because say, okay, you promised them something at AIPAC, then you better promise us something. So let's see what Democrats are going to go say something. It don't matter what Democrat it is. We want to hear the tangibles that's being promised at the AIPAC conference. That's all. So we could take that and run with it. Because I promise you they're going to promise some tangibles at AIPAC. They're not going to just give them empty words and rhetoric. It's just not going to happen. But leave me a comment there on thing about the situation with Representative Ilhan Omar, because this whole situation with her is just quite interesting. It really is, or how they are coming at her. But one thing I have noticed, They haven't refuted her, though. That's the biggest thing about it. When you call someone a name, when they make a point and you don't refute what they say, that says a lot about you, because you know they right on what they're saying. You can't refute it. So let me just demonize this person based off a name calling. Refute what she say. That would be the best way to keep Ilhan Omar quiet, don't you think?